What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with dumbest things Americans have said to non-Americans. And before we dive into these things, make sure you dive into that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. I got social media, Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Human. I talk back. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got?
Non-Americans have read it. What's the weirdest thing an American has said to you?
What we got?
I was asked if France is part of the United Kingdom. When I tried explaining him what the United Kingdom is, he told me England is no longer part of the UK because of Brexit.
Can I just put this over my head? Can I just hide myself? When I tried explaining to him what the United Kingdom, and he told me England is no longer part of the UK because of Brexit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that there are people in the country that believe this.
The United Kingdom is, he told me England is no longer part of the UK because of Brexit. This hurt so much. As much as I love my country, the people who inhabit it can be really stupid.
Facts.
Trust me, the people from other countries are equally as stupid.
I don't know about
Americans are not unique in this. You want proof?
Yes.
Turn on British daytime TV. How long did you learn to use metric instead of normal measurements? He genuinely didn't understand that metric was a system we actually used every day. We weren't constantly having to mentally convert measurements to feet or pounds to understand how big they really were. Maybe because Americans only really interact with metric, well, technically SI, in science class.
That's facts.
Actually, there's a video on YouTube where Neil deGrasse Tyson explains that Americans already use the metric system in their everyday lives and probably don't even realize it. Yeah. We love our drugs. Thank God they're sold in metric. We gotta teach the kids somehow, right? When in America...
We love our drugs. Thank God they're sold in metric. We gotta teach the kids somehow. Yeah. I don't know why somebody asked him that. How long did it take you to learn metric?
Metric. We gotta teach the kids somehow, right?
Oh,
when an American asked me what it's like to have an accent. They thought that they had no accent and their voice was default basically. Do you have an accent? We all have accents. Reminds of that I once spoke to an American that was surprised that black Australian individuals had an Australian accent. It's so weird, but you can also see it coming somehow in how they often think about race. The same thing that one was surprised that black Dutch individuals of course had Dutch names.
Why are we like this?
Why didn't they
Why are we like this? I don't get it. I don't understand. I can't fathom it. I can't. Why?
Why didn't they walk around the Berlin Wall? This is actually a pretty good question, to the point that I can't think of the answer right now. If you mentally draw a half a city, inside another country, with the wall down the middle of the city, it does bring up the question of why you can't walk in from the back of the half you want to get to. Edit. The wall went all the way around West Berlin. This isn't something that gets emphasized in American history classes, I don't think.
It's not.
I was paying attention, and I don't remember being told this. Pretty sure there were soldiers at the wall. It's not that you physically could...
I'm sure if they could have walked around the wall, then I'm sure they would have walked around. If it was possible, they would have walked around the wall.
Pretty sure there were soldiers at the wall. It's not that you physically couldn't climb over the wall. It's that you didn't want to. You could if you were fast enough and wearing a thick enough bulletproof vest. Wait, you all have IKEA? I'm Swedish. BuzzFeed turned this into a listicle and featured your comment in their tweet. Some URL. Some URL? Fuck BuzzFeed. You could sue them as your comment is your IP. You would lose, of course, as BuzzFeed has expensive lawyers.
For sure.
Then again, They may just remove it to not have to deal with the legal trouble. Canadian here. I was 7 and in Florida telling my new also 7-year-old friend about our money system. I told her we don't have $1 or $2 bills, they are coins and called a loony and a toonie. She goes and asks her parents and they told her I was lying.
Oh my God.
Wait, there are $1 notes? Where I live the smallest note is equivalent to slightly more than $6, anything less is coins. Yes, Canada did have them until like 95 and US still does, I'm pretty sure lol. The typical stuff.
We still got $1 bills. We still got $1 bills around here. The parents told her he was lying, bro.
Like 95 and US still does, I'm
just
pretty sure
lol.
Know.
If you don't
the
know,
typical
just say
stuff.
You don't know.
Do you have cars/trees/dogs/ in Germany? Another favorite, is Hitler still alive? Yep, we just decided his bad conscience would be punishment enough for the whole thing. He works for a NGO helping migrants now. Crazy how people can change. I met an American who was convinced that we weren't allowed to say anything bad about Hitler as he was our big leader and that every German looks up to him. I'm sure they're very surprised that you don't have Nazi statues anymore either. Are your parents Democrats or Republicans?
Oh my God.
Have different political parties here, love. I once had real difficulty trying to get a staunch American Republican to understand that we don't have any major Republican parties. He eventually asked, so, how many Republicans do you have in Parliament? I answered, about 6, but they can't take their seats because they refuse to swear an oath of allegiance to the Queen. I thought he was going to have a hemorrhage. They asked me if I spoke African. Maybe they meant Afrikaans? I hope.
Oh my God.
They definitely didn't.
They definitely did not.
They absolutely did not.
They did not. When they said you speak African, there's no 1% chance they meant Afrikaans. Because I didn't even know Afrikaans was a language. But I knew not to ask somebody if they spoke. Do you speak African? Do you speak American? Know what I'm saying? Like, what? What are we talking about? African is not a language. Afrikaans. I didn't know that's what the language was called. But
they definitely didn't. Nope, they absolutely did not.
Oh my God.
Poking fun at me with France stereotypes. I'm not from France, my parents are not from France, and I've never been to France. My first language is French. That's enough for Americans to treat me like I'm from France. You speak French? On un baguette croissant. Guy living in Congo. Confidently stupid. Belgian or Swiss?
That one I guess I don't understand. Why would you, how would your first language be French? Where are you from? I guess so you're not from America though. There's no way you're from America. Your first language is French. If you're not from France, your parents are not from France, and you've never been to France. So she's from a different part of the world. I just don't know which part.
Confidently stupid. Belgian or Swiss? I met an American tourist who was adamant that my country was a home-ruled territory under the US government.
Oh my God.
He said this during our nation's Independence Day. What is your country? Iceland. He assumed we shared a similar status with Puerto Rico. He was convinced of the error of his ways after confronting 2 other natives in a Google search. Wait, what? Iceland was never even a US colony in the first place. I lived for a while in an old house in Somerset. It was once owned by Reverend Thomas Butt, who traveled to America on the Mayflower.
Are you serious?
Had quite a few Americans turn up on the doorstep. There's a blue plaque, expecting me to drop everything and provide a house tour and have expert knowledge of Thomas Butt.
Oh wow.
As an American, I can kind of understand their line of thinking. Historical houses like that are often preserved and turned into tourist attractions in the US.
That's facts.
Not sure if that's as common in England? Your country has been around a lot longer, so it's pretty normal for people to live in houses that are centuries old, right?
Huh.
Also, Americans tend to overestimate how important our history is to people in other countries, especially England.
Also facts.
You get a lot of Americans who are shocked to find out that your schools don't cover the American Revolution nearly as in depth as our schools. Just for example.
And why would
in my
they?
school, we learned about the Mayflower at age 6 and revisited the topic repeatedly over the years.
And I still don't remember anything, but I just know that came over. That's we definitely revisited the topic, but all I know is the Mayflower came over. I don't know what year. I don't remember anything
about the Mayflower at age 6 and revisited the topic repeatedly over the years. To us, your house would have been a really fascinating historical place to visit, but to Brits, I guess it's probably more like, oh huh, this guy was on the Mayflower. That's kinda cool, I guess. Like, what do you care if some guy who used to live at your house hundreds of years ago left the county? Can I have an Irish car bomb?
Huh?
Talking to a bartender in a Dublin pub.
What is that?
Ooh. Yikes. Safe to say they didn't get the drink they ordered and got a good talking to from the bartender. 1911 coming right up. One Sandy Hook please.
God
I think I'd be
dang!
shocked, and quite rightly.
God, he said what? Dang. So what happened? What happened with the Irish car bomb? So I'm guessing that's a tragic event that took place in history of Ireland. I'm guessing, but y'all talk to me. I don't know. I guess yeah. It had to be an event. Let me know in the comment section.
One Sandy Hook please.
Dang. God.
I think I'd be shot, and quite rightly. As a Brit, I had to bite my tongue when asked, do you celebrate Independence Day? Which one? Honestly, if Brits recognized the Independence Days of every country that's separated from them, they'd work like 1 day a week.
Facts.
You mean living the dream? I've been asked the Independence Day and Thanksgiving question pretty much every time I've gone to the US.
Of course.
They seem surprised that 4th of July is not a holiday here. Are we supposed to celebrate that they successfully separated from us? Wait. I live in the Southern Hemisphere. Talking to an American online in December, and I mentioned it was summer for me.
Oh my God.
She kept asking which month I was in,
I knew
kept
it.
insisting
I
it must
knew
be
it.
June, and couldn't seem to wrap her head around the idea that it was simultaneously December and summer in the Southern Hemisphere.
I knew it. I knew that was coming. Like it's the same month everywhere. It's just different weather in different places. I don't know why it's not understandable.
Wrap her head around the idea that it was simultaneously December and summer in the Southern Hemisphere. When I was 6, I thought this too. I could see that logic if you're a little kid. I mean, you've heard of time zones, so month zone seems entirely plausible if you were 6. Oh no, I thought, well, the seasons are opposite, so the months must be too. I had a friend who did foreign exchange in the Southern Hemisphere, when I was 6, for a year. When he got back I realized, oh, it isn't opposite. Spaghetti with eggs kinda weird. That's a carbonara. Spaghetti
Really?
with eels kinda weird. That's amore. An Austrian friend and I were told about this magical thing they have in America called fireworks and how we should go see it at least once in our lives. China invented fireworks.
Oh my gosh,
I swear
bro.
on my mother's life that this happened.
Wait.
I was on a student exchange between my German school and a school in San Francisco in the late 90s.
Okay.
When the Americans came to visit us, we had a welcome party for them at a friend's place. That friend had a dog, and at some point he gave the dog a command in German.
No.
The dog obeyed, and one of the American kids asks how we managed to teach German to the dog.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide myself in here, guys. I'm gonna do the rest of the video like this, cause I can't. I'm embarrassed. Dad said, "How you teach?" I'm done.
The dog obeyed, and one of the American kids asks how we managed to teach German to the dog. He wasn't joking either. He seemed convinced that all pets are somehow born with knowledge of the English language, but all other languages need to be taught to them.
Why?
All I can
Lord?
see in my head is my favorite Picard facepalm gif. I know someone who bought a fully trained personal protection dog, a German Shepherd, from a couple who trains them. The couple uses German to train them on purpose and the owner then has to learn the commands in German. Duh. They've been asked by a lot of people how their dog learned German. This is in the US. I'm French Canadian. I was in the States some years ago. I tried one of those fried chocolate bars. I'm not sure it's good, still debating myself on that one.
Really
And the waiter, recognizing by my accent I was not from there, asked me if I liked it. I said it was my first time eating that, etc. And a couple lines down our exchange, I found that he thought I had never eaten one before because it was somehow illegal in Canada to deep fry those, and maybe fruits too, I don't recall exactly. Like Health Canada forbade restaurants to deep fry chocolate bars. He was a nice person. How do you deep fry chocolate? Wouldn't it just melt on? It's coated in a batter.
I don't think so. Yeah, these videos are perfect. That's all we got. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.